Happy Hour with Vic, episode 9, Medellin. We're in Airbnb number 5. Let's drink. What are we drinking today? Oh, here we go. Bias. I think these are 45 cents, 44 cents, something like that. I got my my trusty mug here. It's actually probably designed for coffee, tea, keeping those things warm. But it does the opposite too. Oh yeah, I got a big block of ice in here. And let's go ahead and pour this. I got a lemon, it's a lime. I have a lime in here, ready to go. And remember, 45-degree angle, nice and slow. This is spilling. Why? Okay, this beer decided to be uncooperative and spill on my leg. Sometimes if you do it too slow, it doesn't quite work out right. It'll go down the side. Alright, put that there. It spilled all over my leg. That's what happened earlier too. I was wondering why there was a little beer on the counter over there. Alright, we're going to toast to, as usual, to peace and love. Salud. Ooh, that tastes good with the lime. Hopefully this doesn't spill. Because we're in new territory here. Airbnb number 5 is going to turn out to be a 1-week stay because the host here is really inflexible. So, quick rundown, we paid $306 US for first week, this week. We're moving out on Saturday. And then he has another week open, so we could have stayed here, theoretically, for 2 weeks. And we tried to negotiate with this, well, not me directly, because I'm not communicating with any of these Colombian Airbnb hosts. Not my job. My job is to pay for these places, not communicate with these goofballs that are all bad at business. That's not true, but the majority bad at business. So I have Catalina tell this guy, this host here, to can we extend? He has a week open, so can we extend for the next week? But can we do it in cash? Because that's how you get the good deal. You do it in cash. Oh, I knew he was going to do this. I knew he was going to say this just based on how his Airbnb listing was written. Super strict. He's got all these crazy rules and all these fines connected to these rules. These violations. It's $500 if you smoke weed in the apartment. Who's enforcing this? Are the police going to show up? Is Airbnb enforcing this? How are you going to get me to pay $500 for this? I think these Airbnb hosts are just making shit up. And why not? Just make shit up. So anyways, he doesn't want to do anything in cash because, for the security of both of us, let's go through the platform, Airbnb. All right. Okay, so already I'm like, this isn't happening. We're not going to get this next week. So he sends us the extension request, and it's $50 more than our original price. Why would I pay $50 more for this place? I've already seen it in person, and it's worse in person. If anything, I should be paying $50 less. That's the correct thing to do here. Let's pay $50 less for another week. And then, so I have my wife, his goofy ass offer, it's $50 more. And he's not doing anything. He's just, there's some kind of setting on his profile that, I don't know. It depends on how many people are looking at Airbnbs in this area or zip code or whatever the fuck. So that determines the price. Oh, how many people are interested in using Airbnb this week? Okay, we're going to raise, it's called, what is it called? Dynamic pricing. So anyways, I had my wife send him a message saying that my husband, me, this guy, he doesn't understand the logic. He doesn't understand the justification for paying $50 more. We're already seeing this place with our eyes. Not in photos anymore. We're seeing it in real life. This place is worse in real life. Sometimes you show up to a place and it's better. This place isn't better. This is worse. So why the fuck would I pay more for this place? That doesn't make any sense. So anyways, he goes, okay, and he sends us another offer. And it's, wait for it. It's this huge discount of, drum roll, $10. So now it's $344 or some shit like that. What the? $344. And I'm going to pay $40 more for this place. Why would I pay $40 more for this place? This guy's just delusional. He doesn't understand. Everyone thinks my dad was like this. My dad was a pretty good salesman, and he basically, but I don't know if maybe I even learned or heard this from him. He thought that his junk was worth more than it was actually worth. And your junk, your Airbnb is only worth as much as someone's willing to pay for it. And I'm not willing to pay for this. This is insane. $50 is a lot of money in Colombia. We could go shopping at Éxito, the supermarket, basically the biggest supermarket chain in Colombia, which is probably owned by a non-Colombian. I gotta look this up. I have no confidence in Colombian business. They're all bad at it. That's my experience. 16 times in Colombia, everyone seems horrible at business. So I'm looking this up. A Dutch guy probably owns Éxito. So $50, we could go to Éxito and we could buy 10 bags of groceries for $50. It's ridiculous how much you can get for $50 here. We could probably go to the best restaurant in Medellin for $50. And that's what we did. We went on, I think the second night here, Monday, that would be the second day here. It is the second night. We went to this steakhouse that we walked to. It was 10 minutes from here. And I got my cut. It was supposed to be this steak reduction, something with onions and stuff like that. I didn't taste the reduction of balsamic vinegar. I've made caprese with a balsamic vinegar reduction, and it's exploding with flavor. It's so fucking sweet. I didn't taste it at all in this dish that I ordered. But I felt like that cut of meat, I swear, was a filet mignon. But they didn't season it right. I had to ask for, this is how shitty this place is. I have to ask for pepper and salt to the wait. I think this guy was the owner. And he just seemed to, no smile at all. That's normal in Colombia. You go to a restaurant, nobody's smiling. It's like they think smiling is illegal or something here. So I have my wife ask this guy for salt. I can't, but I don't want to interact with this person. He's not going to understand my fucking bullshit Spanish. And he brings back this little tray thingy with these really tiny packets of salt. Not a salt shaker like a normal restaurant that would already have it on the table. Why isn't this just on the table? Salt and pepper seems pretty fucking standard to me. If I open up a restaurant, I'd have salt, pepper, and ketchup on the fucking table. Hey, but we're in this country where they're terrible at business. And then so I have to salt this. They didn't season this meat right. It didn't taste bad. It was pretty tender and it was juicy. It just didn't have any flavor. The flavor that I was, and probably the chef who overcooked this, was expecting to come from this balsamic vinegar reduction with these onions, and what else was on it? There was something else on it. So it was good with the salt. You had to add salt though. There's no way you're not gonna. Salt and pepper is standard on steak, and I didn't taste salt or pepper on this steak. So anyways, and then my wife, she got ribs, barbecue ribs. Those are good. Those are falling off the bone, super tender ribs. So that was good. And what else did we order? 2 beers. So my neighbors are they're getting pissed at me. They're banging on the walls. They're like, shut the fuck up with your bullshit ass English. 2 beers, 2 plates, and yeah, we didn't order an appetizer. And $35. $35. So we can go out again and go shopping and get a shitload of groceries for what? $20? Which is like 20 times 4, that's 80,000 pesos. Yeah, 80,000 pesos. You can get a lot of groceries for 80,000 pesos. If the dollar is 4,000 pesos. So anyways, I don't want to stay in this place. This place, it feels like a prison. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I feel like this place, it feels like a prison because there's this huge fucking gate in front of this balcony, these balcony doors. And it's got this huge padlock on it. Let's take this off. So on the outside, when you get this damn gate open, you open these sliding glass doors. We got this bullshit netting here. Look at this. This is what we're looking at here. There's a sliver of the mountain way in the back, but it's kind of ruined when you got this shitty netting. And this netting's for cats or whatever the fuck. And there's people down below this. There's this cactus here, beautiful cactus, giant. It's about 10 meters tall. We're on the 2nd floor, and this thing's taller than this. But this bullshit netting kind of ruins it, and then there's these shitty fucking cables all over the place. This is supposed to be a middle-class neighborhood, and it looks awful. And then right over here, not next door, but one house over, there's a construction project going on. You can see it. Construction project going on. These people are... Construction project going on. So how loud is that going to get? So I'm good. We don't have to stay in this place that feels like a fucking prison. This absolutely feels like a prison. This host is living in fear. And I'm not down with this. This is whatever. This is a low vibration, low frequency. And well, we'll see what happens. So I'm good. We don't need to stay an extra week here, especially it's more expensive and it feels like a prison. Get the fuck out of here with this. So here's what I noticed at the last Airbnb. A block this way, it was just right there. When we walked over here on Saturday, I knew it was close, but I didn't realize it was this close. We walked and I was like, we're here. It's right here. It was like the shortest walk of all time. That's the only reason why I booked this place, is because it was such a short walk from our last Airbnb right down the street. And it's fine. We don't need to stay here. We're moving to basically downtown Medellin on Saturday. 1 week is good enough. I'm not going to have peak experiences in a fucking place that feels like a prison. And what I noticed at the last Airbnb, there was a store right across the street. My last peak experience, which was the last day of July, we were on our 2nd balcony, and that's how good this place was. This fucking balcony is ridiculous. It's like the size of a fucking shoebox. And so I'm looking down from it's gotta be the 2nd floor of the apartment, but it's probably the 4th floor of the building. 4th or 5th floor of the building. So I'm looking down across the street at this little store, and because I had this plant medicine in me, I was thinking, I'm looking at this wrong. There's this store with this big gate, just like this gate right here off this balcony, and the owner of this store, I don't know, I didn't ask him anything. I didn't have any conversations with him, but he's on the other side of the gate, and then everyone has... And I've seen this all over the place. I'm pretty sure I've seen this in Mexico, too. So everybody, all his customers that are going to this little bullshit store that it's under his house, his apartment, or whatever. It is, because I see the wife at the store. She's manning the store, and then I see her on the balcony above the store. So it's for sure. Store down here, they live up here. Maybe someone else lives up here. It's 3 stories, the building. So I initially thought, oh, it seems like he's in prison. But I was wrong. On this plant medicine, I was seeing this correctly now. I was seeing what I was witnessing, observation. I was looking at it backwards. He's the prison guard. And all the people on the outside of this gate that are sitting on these shitty stoles that he has set up, they're the prisoners. And then I'm looking at him. I was trying to take a good photo of it, but I couldn't get a good one. I'm looking at the dynamic that's going on here. He's standing up tall. He's standing up with confidence. And he's an owner. He's a Colombian businessman. And they're all the people, they're buying Lucy's and they're buying beer at a certain time when everyone gets off work, I guess, 5, 6 o'clock. That's when the sun was setting. And that's when we were I was having this peak experience. Except for this distraction. This is a distraction. I don't want to see this because it's negative. And so he's standing upright with confidence. And then all his customers, they're sitting on these shitty stools, drinking their beer, smoking their Lucy, and they're slumped over. They're trying to forget their lives. It's just a negative visual. It's the optics are not good. I don't want to see this shit. I'm trying to feel the positive energy of this planet, and I got this shit going on. So it's the reverse. He's the prison guard. They're the prisoners, and I don't want to see that. And what this, on a really basic level, which I was totally aware of before having this interpretation of it, was there's distrust in all of Latin America, not just in Colombia, because I've seen this in Mexico too, where you're not coming into my store because I don't trust you. You're going to be stealing shit. That's why he's got this gate, 1,000,000%. What do you want? Okay, give me the money. Okay, here's some medicine or whatever, that like a fucking aspirin or something. That's what he's selling. Toilet paper. You want a roll of toilet paper? Okay, 2,000 pesos. Okay, here's your toilet paper. Through the bars like a fucking prison guard. It's distrust. I just heard this from somebody. I forgot who I heard this from on some podcast. They were talking about security and trust in your neighborhood and from your neighbors. If you don't have that, you're not going to be happy. It's really difficult. Someone's fucking yelling something outside. This is this neighborhood. Everyone's just fucking yelling and shit. Today, it's a holiday today, so there wasn't that much yelling out of microphones, yelling out of loudspeakers. And so that's another distraction here in this neighborhood. So if you have no confidence in who you're living around, it's going to be really hard for you. All right, let's cut this and see what this guy's saying. So if you don't have trust and confidence in the people that you're living around, it's going to be really hard to be happy because your sympathetic nervous system is always going to be a little bit turned on. Is this person trying to rob me? Is this person trying to get over on me in some way? Let's look at a very obvious, exaggerated example. The ghetto. I'm from San Francisco. There's all these projects. I've been all over San Francisco. Not just on the streets, in people's houses. I've been in all the projects in San Francisco. If you're living in an environment like that, you don't trust your neighbors. Because a lot of these folks, they're hooked on drugs and they're not working. So what are they doing? How are they getting money for drugs? They're going to be trying to rob you in some way. And so you always have, if you're going to work, there's a lot of people in the hood that are going to work. They got a normal job. They're trying to live a normal life, but they're living around people that are doing the opposite of that. So then you got to constantly be on guard with everybody. You got to have fucking bars on your goddamn windows. Like a fucking prisoner. How can you be happy that way if you feel like you're in prison? So I'm good. I don't have to live in this place. Literally, this fucking gate on this balcony, this is an outdoor gate. This should be on the outside of the house, not on the inside of the house. I don't understand this. I've seen goofy ass design in construction in Colombia. Non-stop, 16 times in Colombia, it's endless. I don't understand this. They're just, okay, we'll do it this way. This doesn't make any sense, but we'll do it this way. You know what I would prefer? I would prefer this fucking gate thrown in a fucking dumpster, and let's get a fucking screen door on this goddamn balcony, so we can have the fucking the sliding glass door open. It's 20 degrees hotter in here than it is outside. But I can't leave the sliding glass door open because there's going to be mosquitoes in here. There was a fly in here earlier, flying around for fucking 2 hours. I finally got him out. Was trying to kill him, but he was too fast. I've been to Colombia 16 times and I've never been robbed. So where's all this fear coming from? It's coming from the past. This guy, the host here, he's a pretty young guy. He's probably younger than me. Where are you getting all this fear from? You're probably getting it from your parents. It's not real. You're perpetuating an old idea. It's not happening here. Well, it is, but not to this level where you need this iron gate on the inside of the fucking apartment. It's insane. The fear mongering here, the restaurants here. The restaurant was on a roundabout, which is basically absolute chaos. Every 20 seconds a light is changing and there's 20 fucking motorcycles zooming by. And then when they're getting through this roundabout, there's fucking all these cars because they're slower. Cars coming through, and then behind them are all these buses coming through. So it's constant noise, constant pollution. And my wife, again, this is for you, my wife, you're the only one that's going to watch this. But in case you forgot, this is why I'm not coming back to Colombia. Because it's absolute chaos, and at this age in my life, I want peace. I don't want to be living around absolute chaos. And she was like, oh, let's go, we'll just take it to go. It's a steak. I'm not going to take a steak to go. You eat the fucking steak there. You don't walk 15 minutes and then fucking set up the whole fucking thing here and try to find a knife that's actually good enough to cut the goddamn steak. There's no good knives in this goddamn Airbnb. So, but let's sit here. I want to sit here. I want to remember this. I want to absorb this. And I want you to remember this. That's why I'm making this video. Remember this. This is insanity. What kind of restaurant experience is this where you're... And this isn't cheap. It's cheap for me. $35 for a steak dinner for two? It's cheap for me, but it's not cheap to the people that live here. There's no way. I bet you most people in Medellin are not just blowing 150,000 pesos on a dinner. That's a lot of groceries. But that's fine. Again, it's a little reminder for me. I'm going to log that for when my wife wants to come back here. I have to make, and to you, for her, the decision's going to be, do I need to be with you, next to you in this chaotic city so that you can see your family? Or what, do I need to be next to nature, next to peace, or peace is? What's more important here? Being next to you is just fear. That's all fear. Oh, I want to be next to you. I want to go with you because I want to make sure that you're okay. She's taken Uber alone so many times. I'm not next to her. Anything can happen. Every time she leaves this door without me, anything can happen to her. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to her family's house. she's over at her mom's house with her sister and her niece, which is fine. It's good for her. She needs to be doing this because the next time we come back here could be years. I'm not coming back here. The next time she comes back here, let me rephrase that. She comes back here could be years. And it's all going to be how much fear do I have about that distance, that geographical distance between us. And that's going to be the exercise. The exercise is how much fear is in you. There's no fear and there's no doubt. That's what I've learned on this trip. There's no fear. I'm not saying that I 100% believe it, but I'm leaning towards that. There's no fear, there's no doubt. And that's going to be it for me. I've gone on for too long. And if anyone's watching this, let us know what you're drinking and where you're drinking. And from Medellin, happy hour with Vic, and ciao.